Auzubillahiminashaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. Hope you all are doing well. And here we are, well caffeinated and on this desk with all of this news and entertainment, updating you with what's going on around the planet for you to get a head start in your day. I am Muzammil Ali Khan, and joining me in my studio is the wonderful Eesha, Rehan.
Oh, thank you. Wow, thank you so much, Muzammil, for the very enthusiastic and charismatic and lively introduction, I might add. And, we awoke to Islamabad being very sunny and very, very pleasant after a very stormy spell of rains. But, it gives me a lot of hope to realize that we need to embark on a journey to remember all the people who have sacrificed their lives for Pakistan and what they have taken place to contribute to Pakistan.
Our Shuhada have laid down their lives. Not only do they give us a message of courage, determination and staying true to our cause, but also they become an inspiration, and we are remembering Rashid Minhas on this day. It is the national day to remember Rashid Minhas. Armed Forces of Pakistan paid tribute to the pilot officer Rashid Minhas Nishan-e-Haider on his 54th martyrdom anniversary, honoring his heroic sacrifice for the nation. Chief of Army Staff Field Marshal Syed Munir, Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee General Sahir Shamshad Mirza and Naval Chief Admiral Naveed Ashraf. Also, Air Chief Marshal Zahir Ahmed Babar Sidhu joined in remembering the young officer's extraordinary courage. On this day in 1971, Rashid Minhas embraced martyrdom to prevent hijacking of his aircraft. Exemplifying unwavering loyalty and patriotism, armed forces hailed his legacy as lasting symbol of sacrifice. Now, this message of peace, this message of courage, this message of bravery gives us hope that no matter how dark times are, we can transpire and we will come out as successful and as winners on top and on the other side. Now, with this, the weather is tough.
Exactly, and the legacy that the people have left for us, right? They have sacrificed their lives for Pakistan, and to honor that memory, we need to make sure that Pakistan is a safe and secure place for all people to live, which is why it's very devastating to see the impact of the weather in Pakistan.
Floods and landslides and whatnot.
Exactly. Let's start off with the heavy rainfall in Karachi, which is submerged in major thoroughfares, including the Sharai Faisal and Churangi Road, along with several other key road links. The poor drainage has left large pools of stagnant water, creating severe problems for communities and the general public. We've seen how last night and last evening kids could not reach their homes. People were stuck in traffic.
Not only that, not only up north, but also down south alongside Karachi, we have problems in Balochistan as well. Heavy rains have lashed out on multiple areas in Balochistan. Quetta is devastated. We are seeing tributaries and river streams overflow. There's flash flooding. Heavy rains have lashed in northern and southeastern Balochistan, triggering flash floods in several districts. These visuals, as you can see on your screen, are from that crisis that is unfolding right now. And as this comes in, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif
has expressed deep gratitude to the entire team comprising of civil and military departments for their tireless service to the nation. And during this tiring hour of need, the massive flood-induced destruction in the northern parts of the country, chairing a high-level meeting to review the relief and rehabilitation efforts in flood-affected areas, the Prime Minister has condemned the collective response of the crisis. Shahbaz Sharif said that those serving day and night in these calamities-stricken regions will be rewarded by the Almighty. He noted that the flood and other essential supplies are being provided to the affected people, and helicopters are being developed to assist those in need.
Definitely, and with this support that is coming from inside of Pakistan, as we all know that our departments, our diplomats, politicians, army personnel, tri-services, we are a nation that gels well together and we stand as an iron wall in front of our enemy. Operation Bunyan Marsoos revealed that to the world. Also, there's help and word coming from the outside as the United Nations assures aid. And this is that Antonio Guterres, the general, has expressed deep sorrow over Pakistan flood victims. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has expressed deep sorrow over the loss of lives caused by the recent flash floods in Pakistan. And in a post on social media platform X, he has extended his sincere condolences to the families of the victims and expressed solidarity with those affected by this disaster. Now,
all right, and you know, speaking of this, we are living in a very disaster-stricken era, unfortunately, right? So we see climate change impacting. There's wildfires in several places, and then there's people drowning in several parts of the world. However, I think what we really need to highlight is how Namal Lake in Miawali is shrinking rapidly due to ecological degradation and the illegal mini dams in its side-by areas.
We are looking forward to dams here in Pakistan, but Eesha, illegal mini dams.
Exactly.
This lake is drying up.
Exactly.
I also heard that it has shrunken from 5.5 square kilometers.
That is exactly true. It is shrunken from 5.5 kilometers to 2.2 square kilometers.
My
and
God,
it's
that's a
threatening
loss.
the local agriculture, the wildlife, and the livelihoods of people. And
Definitely.
the locals have actually come together and started the initiative of Save the Namal Lake campaign. And I think everyone needs to take a lot of precaution. The government needs to take note of this. So we preserve the ecological systems and habitats in order for people and the
I think we need to dive into this topic a little deeper now,
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
And because climate change is something serious, ecology is something which is impacted by climate change. We are an agrarian country, we depend on agriculture, and our agriculture has been impacted by these floods, climate-related problems. 2002, we suffered. Pakistan does not contribute more than 0.some% to the global carbon emissions, but we face the brunt hardest of the countries, you know. And to talk more about this, I think now we should take our esteemed guest who's joining us online here with us, Sir Imran Hamid. He is the Director General of EPA. And Assalamu alaikum, sir. Welcome. The very important question at hand: shrinking lakes in Miawali and floods up north, water trapped down south, and floodings all across the country. How bad of a signal is this for our agriculture?
Thank you so much. As you told in your introduction, the challenge is really huge, and it has devastating impacts. I mean, it has displaced millions of people. It has damaged billions, worth billions of rupees infrastructure. So the challenge is huge, and it's not just the shrinking of lakes, or the similar important thing is that we are experiencing. Previously in the same year, we were experiencing a drought kind of a situation. 42% rainfall was less during January, February, March. And then now in the same year, we are having an extraordinarily high the rains and etc. So the thing is that unexpected weather events, be it floods and droughts and hailstorms and gulfs. So all these things are now contributing to a devastation with which Pakistan is faced nowadays. So the challenge is huge, and I think important thing is that how we respond to this thing, because as you told in your introduction, that Pakistan does not contribute more than 1% or even less than 1% of the total carbon emissions of the globe. But Pakistan is one of the hardest and one of the worst hit countries of the devastating impacts of climate change. So we need to stand together, and we need to adopt, we need to adapt, and we need to mitigate. We try to mitigate the impacts of the climate change. So, as far as government of Punjab is concerned, Punjab is taking very serious steps towards the mitigation and adaptation of the impacts of the climate change. And we have recently made Punjab's first ever climate change policy, and it's not just a policy; it is a complete roadmap which tells that how we will mitigate our emissions, how we will mitigate our bad impacts towards the environment, and how we will adapt ourselves towards clean and green technologies. So, we have converted more than 90% of our brick kilns to the zigzag technology, which has considerably reduced the carbon emissions in the environment. More than 95% industries have been forced to install emission control systems, which has again resulted in great reduction in the carbon emissions in the environment. Likewise, the EV policies, the EV policies in the making, and but before even the EV policy comes in the market, we have started procuring e-bikes in the government sector. We have changed or adapted the purchase of vehicles to the hybrid mode of vehicles. Similarly, government is spending a lot of money, around 5 billion rupees, in the climate resilient agriculture implants. We are distributing super seeders, happy seeders, etc. There is a complete strategy to curb stubble burning, which causes a lot of carbon emission in the atmosphere. Likewise, a great solarization program is going on. All the district headquarter hospitals are being solarized. Important government buildings are being solarized, and in the transport sector, e-buses are plying on the roads of Lahore and the other big cities. So, and a mass transit system is also in pipeline, which will extend the already existing network of mass transit system. So, in all the sectors we are working, but this is not just the case. The climate action starts with climate literacy. So we are now embarking upon a very ambitious agenda of green crediting of the schools. So we'll be going to schools, and right from the beginning, the children will be taught about small actions which they may take, which can contribute to the positive climate actions. And the government of Punjab has not only made an environment and the climate change endowment fund having 15 billion rupees, through which industries can adapt themselves from their traditional technologies to climate friendly technologies. So we will be doing hand holding to them. We have launched a 1 billion rupees green credit program, through which 32 climate friendly actions can be taken by any citizen, and government pays them. For example, if any citizen, for example, I'm sitting in Lahore, and if I purchase an e-bike or e-vehicle, so the government, the Environment Protection Department, will give 10 green credits, which means 1 lakh rupees, because one green credit is equal to 10,000 rupees. Even if if anyone buys cycles and runs the cycle for 75 kilometers, government, the Environment Department pays 15,000 rupees. So these are small pull factors with which we are pulling people towards the climate change, towards the adopting climate friendly and the climate resilient technologies. And if we see that there are certain people who are not serious in it, then and they are chronically polluting the environment, and they are not responding to our notices or our fines or our warnings. So then we resort to strict actions. We don't even shy away demolishing those units. In the last 1 year, more than 300 industries have been demolished. More than 2,000 brick kilns have been demolished, who were chronically polluting the environment and causing bad health impacts in the surrounding areas. So a multiple strategy on multiple fronts is going on. We are completely cognizant of the fact that climate change is a real challenge, and it's not a distant one. It is here. So we are facing it. And a very important thing which I would like to highlight here, that government of Punjab has finalized the land use plans of 22 districts. So from now onwards, in the first phase, in these 22 districts, not even a single industry will be allowed to establish in outside industrial zones. Not even a single inch of green patch will be allowed to convert into the brown zones, etc. And likewise, it's not just the air we are talking. We are also working hard on the water sector as well. 23 types of industries have been bound to install rainwater harvesting systems. All of the Punjab's the car wash systems have been forced to install water recycling systems. Around 4,000 car wash stations, 2,000 car wash stations have already installed, and rest will be installed by October. And after October, not even a single car wash will be allowed to operate without a recycling system. After October 2025, not even a single factory will be allowed to operate which does not have the emission control system. Not even a single brick kiln will be allowed which operates on a non-zigzag methodology. So we are taking very hard steps. On one side, we are facilitating the industries and all other sectors, agriculture sector, transport sector, which want to convert themselves to the climate friendly or the environment friendly technologies. And on the other hand, we are pushing them hard that the government will flex its muscle and flex, and that flexion of muscle will be very hard. So we are very serious on climate.
All right, Thank you so much, Mr. Imran, for highlighting all these essential facts. I might have to add that me and Muzammil, and I think all the viewers watching, started off very worrisome in this show, right? With all the things that are happening around the globe and in Pakistan. But you have highlighted how the government is taking the harsh but necessary steps to counteract the environmental change and global warming. And I think we definitely have to applaud you for all the efforts being
that
put
the department
in,
is
and we
putting
cannot
in.
wait to see the results. But adding on to this, I do have to add that this summer the heat exceeded up to 48.5 degrees Celsius, which I think led to a lot of water being evaporated, glaciers melting, and now we are facing rainfall which is 50% higher than average. We see cloud
What goes
bursts
up comes down.
Definitely, definitely.
That's the law of nature.
So I think we need to touch on how the water is going to be preserved, and is our infrastructure going to be able to handle the downpour of the water that's going to fall over the next couple of years upon us.
Yeah, that is extremely important. Dams are important. Water reservoirs are important. See, when we talk about the irrigation sector, this basically this whole thing is being held by the provincial irrigation department and irrigation department, and even the the local authorities as well, the local development authorities, the VASAs, etc. So in Lahore, we already have around 8 rainwater harvesting ponds. So all the water which comes on the streets, you have seen that in even during the last heavy downpours, after like an hour or so, all the waters drains from streets, from roads to these rainwater harvesting ponds, and then this water which comes into these rain water harvesting ponds, this water is used by the horticulture authorities for watering of plants and all these activities, and so we use this recycled water for the plantation purposes and for all those this agriculture purposes and all those purposes which are otherwise non-drinking but otherwise require water thing. And likewise, many the irrigation channels are being lined. I mean, in Kohe Suleiman and all these areas, the DG Khan division, Multan division, Bahawalpur division, which ultimately receive a lot of water, and then this water flows to to the sea ultimately. So the rainwater harvesting is a buzzword, is a keyword nowadays in the government of Punjab, and a lot of projects worth billions of rupees are in pipeline for saving this precious water, because this water itself is of trillions of rupees. If we monetize this water thing, so these water bodies are precious. We have to save them. We have to preserve them. We have to conserve them so that these could be used in the dry spells.
Imran Sahab, I have a small question. Since we're talking about green energy and climate mitigation over here, um, are there going to be SOPs and methodologies implemented once these solar panels that are being pushed into the market right now, they expire because they are not biodegradable? The batteries in the motor vehicles that are electricity powered, they are not biodegradable. So we are going to end up with a lot of trash once this new wave of electric vehicles and solar panels and green energy that's coming in. Once we end up with these dead solar battery cells and all, are there industries or are there methodologies that are being implemented to recycle and reuse them?
Yes. See, there are two aspects of this issue, and this issue is really important, because if today we don't think about this issue, I'm thankful you raised this issue, and this will be one of the biggest issues in the near future. After 5 years or 10 years, etc. So there are two strings attached to that. One is an academic or the legal framework which is needed to dispose of the e-waste. This whole subject is called as e-waste. So first of all, we need the legal arrangements for the e-waste, and then we require the implementation of that legal framework through different SOPs and different things. So the government of Punjab's our Environment Protection Act dates back to 1997, and right now in 2025 we have submitted an updated version to the Provincial Assembly, and very soon, I think in a month or so, it will be approved by the Provincial Assembly. And new environmental protection, state of the art, modern, the act will be there. And in that act, we are recognizing e-waste as a proper waste, a form of a waste. And under that act, we'll be coming with the certain rules and regulations and the SOPs, so that this e-waste, when it is being generated now, and when it will be in the market in a bulk, so that can be catered timely. But we have already engaged with the industry. We have already started working on the rules, regulations, SOPs, that as and when the act gets approved from the provincial assembly, we are not waiting for that. Immediately after that, the rules, regulations, SOPs will be there. We are already connected with the market. I am myself visiting different chambers of commerce, and I am asking and requesting different industries to partner with the Environmental
Right.
Protection Agency in the management, in the efficient management of
Wonderful,
e-waste.
wonderful,
So
wonderful.
we are on it.
Right. So it was great having you here. A lot of insight. I wish we had more time with you, because this is one of the key areas of interest that everybody wants in on. And you are blessed with all of this information. And since you're serving in the sector at the front lines of it, it was great having you here and having all of this information from you right now. I hope our viewers can get some positive things out of it. And good luck for you and your future endeavors as well. And good luck for Pakistan stepping into the tech-friendly future as well. And talking about tech-friendly future, the world that we're heading into has some hiccups and problems internationally, you know.
It definitely
it's
does.
Gaza, Israel, it's Palestine, it's, Ukraine, Russia.
I think we have entered in an era where we're facing a lot of trying times, and in these trying times, I think it's great to see people taking initiatives to combat crises and mitigate the effects of war. So, in a significant diplomatic development, the U.S. President Donald Trump and the Russian President have held a telephonic conversation discussing the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict and the prospects for peace. During the call, President Putin expressed his readiness to meet with the Ukrainian president, and according to diplomatic sources, a potential summit between the Russian and Ukrainian leaders could take place at the end of August.
And Trump right now is trying his best to mitigate this issue between these two nations. And continuing on with this news of Volodymyr Zelensky, Vladimir Putin and President Donald Trump coming into discussions regarding the Ukraine war, US President Donald Trump says that he has begun arranging a peace summit between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian strongman. Talking about this following a high-level discussion with Zelensky and the European leaders at the White House. In a post on his Truth social platform, Trump says that he spoke with President Putin by phone after what he described as a very good meeting with Zelensky and European officials. And if that was too fast for some of you to understand, the meeting between Zelensky happened before and after which they went on to talk with Putin. The call followed an in-person meeting between Trump and Putin. Now, Trump and Putin both are strongmen right now in the world political scene, because these two nations are the strongest when talking about nuclear weapons and the number of nuclear weapons. And
Muzammil, what really enlightens me to talk more about the environment is that, war affects the environment. And the more we step into peace, it's going to help us build a better environment for us and be more healthy as humans. But being healthy does not just come from the environment, it comes from within, indulging in physical activity. And I think we need to dive into sports, right? So whenever we talk about sports, I think I always want to start a professional sports because Pakistan is always doing great. South Africa has defeated Australia by 98 runs in the first one-day international in Cranes and has taken a 1-0 lead in the 3-match series. PTV Sports HD is telecasting the entire series live. The batting took by South Africa scored a 296
runs for the loss of 8 wickets in 50 overs.
Wow, oh my God, that's such amazing news.
It just makes me happy that you are getting into cricket with such passion all of a sudden. And I remember, you told me you were a bowler, batter?
I was definitely a baller because no one trusted me with batting.
Batting, and I keep hitting myself in my legs when I start to bat. But anyway, continuing on with the news. So what happened was that Timber Bavuma added 65 runs in this series, and with the help of 5 fours. And for Australia, Travis Head bagged 4 wickets while Ben took 2 wickets. These visuals on your screen are from the match. Chasing 297, Australia were bowled out for 198 runs in 40.5 overs. Skipper Mitchell Marsh remained the top scorer with 88 runs and smashed 10 fours in his innings. And, you know, some different news. Are you into combat sports?
Well, you know, Muzammil, I am not, but whenever you talk about it, I get so fascinated. You know, he has so much knowledge and passion regarding martial arts,
girls,
judo.
mashallah, are shining as bright as the boys. Shahzad, everybody is, you know, knows his name. He has been shining in full combat contact karate. And now talking about judo. Judo, do you know judo is basically a 2-part word, ju and do, which basically means gentleman's way. In this art, we don't strike, we don't hit, we don't use our elbows, knees and punches. This art is all about pivoting the weight of your opponent and bringing them down to the ground. It's technical, requires strength and knowledge of physics.
Talking about, we're going to have to call you as a guest. You have so much information. And speaking of a sport, you know, we usually just say names, but learning about how the sports is conducted, it's
now,
very fascinating.
Malaika, one of our shining stars, she is the girl that's coming up heavy in this sport on the Pakistani scene. Pakistani judoka Malaika Noor has etched her name in history by winning the silver medal at the Asian Olympics Open in Judo Championship 2025, becoming the first woman to secure the medal at Asian level judo competitions.
Wow, you know, I think Muzammil is going to be very proud of her, you know, as someone who is very interested in sports. I think the females of Pakistan are definitely making us proud, but I think what we really need to talk about is international sports affairs. And the Pakistan Hockey Federation has announced that the men's national hockey team will not participate in the Asia Cup 2025 due to security concerns in India. Pakistani team decides not to travel to India due to the threats to players from the Indian extremists, and the organizers have added that Bangladesh and Kazakhstan to the Asia Club, replacing Pakistan and Oman.
All right, now to indulge more into this discussion, we are joined by Syed, Heather, sports journalist and analyst, and with a deep insight into the matter. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Good morning and welcome. Starting off with hockey and what happened at the grounds. What is your insight into the matter? Is this a cricket thing that is now seeping into the hockey scene?
Absolutely. Ultimately, when the Indian media, they are making the voices against the Pakistan, and they're such a alleged, they are making some allegations against Pakistan, which are totally baseless, that Pakistan is interfering in India. So therefore, I think it's a very right decision of the Pakistan Hockey Federation that we should not go to India if the Indian media and Indian government, they are not providing a good atmosphere for the Pakistan hockey team. So it will be an insecure condition for the hockey team. So therefore, it's rightly Pakistan Hockey Federation, they have decided not to go there.
Right. And talking about hockey and them not going there, do you think it's partly because of the political scene that's happening, and more because of the BJP-related Hindutva ideology and the mob lynchings and the crazy crowds that gather up and start, you know, hurting people, sticks and stones, violence that is happening in India right now?
Absolutely, exactly. We have seen in the past that Indian crowd, they are not so friendly to the Pakistan sports teams, cricket and other sports. So I think it could be also when the Pakistan hockey team will visit, and Pakistan cricket team, they have already decided they will not go to India, because the India, they have boycotted Champions Trophy to come to Pakistan. So it was decided by the ICC and Pakistan India Cricket Board that Pakistan cricket team will not go to India. So as same thing, that hockey team will not go there.
Pakistan has decided not to go, and Oman has also apologized from going there. They've had to substitute Pakistan and Oman for Kazakhstan and other nations that they've, invited over. Now, talking about this, what future do you see India's hockey, what does this hold for India's hockey scene? All right, I think we've lost contact.
But I think, with sports, obviously people come together internationally and they want to merge and play together. But when security concerns arise, I think we really need our players to be protected and only play in zones that are safe for them. Obviously, our players are our most prized possessions and they need to be protected.
Players need to be protected, but also what we need to learn over here is that politics and sports, these are two things that should be kept separate. India has been mixing politics into cinema, into art, culture, tradition, theatre, music, everything has been politicized.
Definitely.
And now the last remaining leg was sports, something that gives people the hope to smile and cheer something and be happy about something that is happening. And politics has been severely involved in that aspect too. Now, Oman backing off is something that the world was not expecting.
Definitely.
Oman said that Oman does not want to participate in this event. I think the question that I was asking Syed Haider, that what future does this hold for India's hockey? Now, talking about India's hockey scene a few years back, it has not been doing really great. And now that it is about hosting hockey tournaments, and that to Asia Cup, which is a big event in the hockeying scene. Two nations, one of the most prominent nation, Pakistan, in the hockey scene, of course, the national sport of this country. Pakistan has decided not to go there because of the violence that is out there on the streets.
All right.
Also, now, this impacts business, this impacts all these aspects of life. And talking about business, Pakistan's PSX has been on the run upwards. Starting off at 45,000 points to 48,000 points, the run has just yesterday, I was conducting the news, 150,000 points, psychological barrier.
Gosh.
So that basically means people who had invested money at 48,000 points have by now tripled. And we are joined by our expert into this matter, ZAMEER Abbas, who joins us here. Assalamu alaikum, sir, and welcome. Good morning. A big day for business in Pakistan. What is the detail regarding today's PSX run and how has it been performing over the past week? A quick recap and also the banking sector's role in this.
Walaikum assalam. Good morning to you too. Well, as we all know that PSX is shining right now, and with the name of PSX, Pakistan's name is also shining all over the world. Even just for the information, that PSX has been termed the best equity market by the Bloomberg for getting in terms of USD, the American dollar captivity in just 2 years. So PSX has gained around 55.5% in terms of USD, and it's the highest in this not only in Asia but in the world right now. Even the Sensex, which is the Indian stock market, it's lagging behind around 3.2, way behind you can say. So it's a very a kind of honor for the PSX to be in that top of the list, and this definitely has attracted many foreigners as well. Even our FDI, the foreign direct investment, has increased like more than 7% in year-to-year basis. Just look at into stock market right now. We spoke to different experts and the brokers of the stock market. They said that right now, more than three or four companies are there, which sectors are there which are gaining more points in the PSX, like oil and gas, it's cement, it's fertilizers, and commercial banks. The Fitch and the Bloomberg have already stated that Pakistan's commercial banks have a kind of a lot of potential, and they have not only said this, but they have also enhanced their rating as well. So definitely it is a kind of a opportunity for investors to put more money into commercial banks, because once you put more money into the commercial banks, then definitely you are very much sure regarding the benefit or the bonus or the dividends that you will receive after the companies or the banks will show their results. And the results since are going on, and the commercial banks have shown magnificent kind of results, and it has lured more investors to put money into it. Fertilizer is doing very well because of its needs and demands. Cement was lagging behind, but currently after this fiscal year that is started in 1st July, we have seen a rise in the cement as well, because government has some kind of plans in real estate sector as well in their current in their finance bill. So it means that our sectors are working very thoroughly right now. Oil and gas sometimes prove more vibrant because it reacts on news. Like for example, if somebody wants to invest in Recodic, then oil and gas companies that deals with oil and gas, their shares I know popped up and they increase in their sales. So again, many sectors are still there. They need to be focused. Investors said that still there is a plenty of opportunities to put into it, but only government needs some more, critical kind of review. Economic indicators are proving their worth. They are proving good, positive projectiles. But right now, again, there are certain things that we have to look after because in July we have seen our current account balance has a deficit of 25 crore dollars. It means that we have to look into it because we cannot afford such things. Last year we ended around surplus of more than 1.8 billion dollars. Sorry, $2 billion, and right now we are lagging around 25 million dollars. It is not something that we should go for this right now. Government should look into it, and or else everything's going perfect. The government's planning, the government's policy,
Right.
they all are showing very positive trajectories. They have basically enhanced the confidence of investors, not only locally or nationally, but also international. People are investing into Pakistan's equity market
That's
because
great
they
to
have
hear.
potential and they
That's
have.
great to hear. Thank you so much, Zameer Abbas. That was great to hear how investor confidence is boosting, how the KSE is reaching staggering points, and inflation is on an all-time
Rocketing
low.
sky
Definitely,
high.
yeah, and I think
Pakistani business is doing good. If you invest in real estate, it's better off right now to invest in PSX because the dividend is going to be something of a good profit. Now, talking about Zameer Abbas, our correspondent here, I was talking to him a few days ago on one of our bulletins, and Pakistan Stock Exchange had crossed 135,000 mark. And I asked him about if it is going to cross the 150 mark, and he told me his analysis was that it's going to do it within a week and a half or so. And here we are at 150.
God.
I invested money at a good time, and I say you listen to PTV experts because the news over here is true and accurate. Talking about sky-high markets and rocketing upwards. Astronauts are in the scene because Chinese astronaut record with Space Suit B on Shenzhou 20 mission. Chinese astronaut Chen Dong has set a unique record during the third spacewalk of the Shenzhou 20 by using the domestically developed Spacesuit B. According to the foreign news agency, Spacesuit B has been used 20 times for spacewalks over the past 4 years at China's space station.
all right, I think China is literally taking the term to infinity and beyond on another level, and it's great to see them shining in space. But not just this, scientists have developed a brain computer which connects and can translate brain activity into written and audible words to restore communication. The earlier devices had a notable delay between a person thinking and the computer delivering the words. Researchers have implanted an array of electrodes in the brain area where speech can be encoded in a 47-year-old woman. I think this is a great breakthrough in technology. It can impact people who are suffering from paralysis, from brain injury, and cannot use words to communicate and speak.
It is also that problems regarding your head and neck are one of these problems that usually, it is an important area of your body, but they usually go unchecked because if we have cavities in our teeth, we don't usually take care of those problems on time. And to talk more about this, we are joined by Dr. SAMREEN YOUNAS. She is a consultant dentist, also dental and oral maxillofacial surgeon. And we are going to talk about oral cancers today and how they can be prevented. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. A very good morning, and it is such a pleasure to have you here. Now, talking about these bad habits that contribute to these problems, oral cavities, cancers, and all of these things. How common are oral cancers in Pakistan?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you very much for inviting me to this forum. And I'm really glad that we are talking about oral cancer on this forum because oral cancer is spreading like anything in our country, in all the South Asian countries. And there is a need that we should bring attention of general public and our policy makers to this burning issue. It is a major health concern nowadays, and it is the most common cancer in all the South Asian countries, and Pakistan is also part of Southeast Asia, and it is a very common cancer in our country Majority of us don't know that it is the most common cancer of our male population in Pakistan. And it is the second most common cancer of our female population. And it is suggested by a recent study that was conducted in Pakistan. It is published on different international forums. So it
All
is
right. All right. So you know what we really need to talk about is how oral cancer is one of the deadliest but most preventable cancers in the world,
cancers, yeah.
and nearly all across the globe, 377,000 people get affected by it. And in Pakistan, it is people have a 30% chance of. They are annual stats. They're global stats, and it is very alarming that over 30% of all cancers in our country are oral cancers, as our dear guest highlighted how it is one of the first main cancers for men and
also
on the second number for
Dr.
women.
Saiba, alcohol consumption in teenagers is also at an all-time high right now as we speak, and smoking is one of the bad habits that is common in Pakistan. How much of a contributor is alcohol, and how much of a contributor is cigarette smoking and other things, the tobacco, gum patches, other things? How much do you think that these things contribute to oral cancers?
In our area, the most common contributing factors are smoking, tobacco in different forms, and chewing pan and betel nut. Alcohol consumption is also strongly related, and when these different illicit habits combine, then their effect is additive. The chances of developing oral cancer increase in when a patient is consuming alcohol as well as he is smoking, then the chances of developing oral cancer increases. These are most important risk factors in our region. But I want to highlight that we conducted a study in our department in oral and maxillofacial center in Mayo Hospital. We are catering a high number of cases of oral cancer patients here. Then a large number of patients, that is 28% of the patients were having no identifiable causes.
All right. So speaking of these causes, I think we want to talk about the awareness. So, putting in this factor, what are the symptoms that people see? Is it mostly a sore throat, or do you feel lumps in your throat? What symptoms can be catched on earlier to prevent this cancer from developing?
Yes, this is very important topic that patients present to us at very advanced stages of the disease. They don't know how to capture it at earlier stages. So any soreness, any ulcer, any non-healing ulcer that doesn't go away within 2 weeks of developing, you should immediately see doctor. Along with it, any red or white patches in oral cavity are very dangerous. We should not ignore them at all. Any lump in our neck, in tongue, in oral cavity need immediate attention and should seek advice from the expert doctor.
Right. Thank you for highlighting that. Thank you for highlighting that. And, we also researched that HPV is also a high risk factor that is causing oral cancer in Pakistan. So, would you like to highlight why this is?
HPV, in previous studies, HPV was very commonly linked to oral cancer, but nowadays recent studies are saying that it is not very much linked, not a predominant cause for oral cancer. In our region, the most predominant causes remains the tobacco, betel nut, and pan, Akbar, and chalia, all these things.
Now, which age group do you see the most affected by this problem?
Middle age are more commonly affected, but nowadays we are seeing that teenagers and younger people, the proportion of younger people is continuously increasing. Recently,
Could
we
that be
had
a
a
telltale
patient that
sign?
was only 19 years old.
Dr. Sahib, I hate to cut you up like this, but could that be a telltale sign, the younger kids? Of course, you mentioned alcohol, cigarette smoking,
Vapes,
pan, chalia, all of those things, vapes, all of those things being a contributing factor. And those are middle-age hobbies or things that people indulge into. And now you're seeing young children. So could that be a telltale sign that these industrialized lollipops and ice creams and sugar-related products, all of these sweets and chocolates could be contributing to cavities that then turn into oral cancers?
Yes, exactly. That's why I said that 28% of our patients were having no identifiable cause. These all may be causes: pesticides that we use, food adulterations, different chemicals we are using different artificial colors, and we need to investigate these causes. We don't have any directly linked studies on these to prove that, but we all know that these are all harmful chemicals, and these have carcinogenic effects,
Right.
and it's very highly likely that they are associated with oral cancers in those patients where we cannot find any obvious cause like tobacco and alcohol and any such
Thank you.
things.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarmeen, for joining us today, taking out your precious time and helping all the people across the globe realize how oral cancer is impacting lives, is taking lives, and is very, very dangerous. And as Muzammil highlighted, you know, we need to stop eating too many sugary things. You never know
Highly
what
processed
chemicals
foods and all,
are added into all these processed foods that we eat. And other than that, we know the basics: no smoking, no vaping, no consuming drugs that obviously are going to impact
Or
our body
alcohol.
negatively. So, you know, stay safe, make sure that you read the labels and make sure that you eat clean and stay clean mentally and physically, and promote a lot of positivity in your life, because you are going to shine and keep shining like this bright sunny day in Islamabad today. Thank you so much for joining us, and I think me and Muzammil are going to head out. So yeah, okay.
Bye bye. That's all for today's episode. Take care, good morning, and love you.